You said London?
Salzburg.
Salzburg? Anywhere else?
Budapest.
Budapest? Fantastic.
Japan.
Japan as well, fantastic.
And
Well, the
France.
tradition is actually not very old at all. It actually began in Europe. People believe it was in Italy at the start of the 2000s. Okay, and the reason why does very much does change depending on the location. Now, for any of you who are not familiar with this, I'm sure you all are, but let me explain anyway. Two sweethearts will come here to this bridge, sweethearts such as Brian and Paige here, okay? They will come here with a log with their names on it, and they will attach the log to the bridge. They'll throw the key in the river as a symbol of their unbreakable love.
How do you explain the one with the combination?
Done with the combination?
Divorce rate.
Okay, let me explain that first of all. My theory on the combination lock is I believe it to be sort of Parisian boys who perhaps start, I don't know, maybe go out at night and maybe woo some tourist girls. Okay, then they bring them here to the bridge. They take a lock and say, it's so romantic. And then they put the lock on the bridge, they get a kiss, they get what they want out of it. And the next day when the girl leaves, I think they come back to the bridge, take the lock off again, and they use it next time. Okay? You never know. Okay, now where was I? Oh yeah, so I've just told you that was the tradition. It's a gorgeous tradition. Has anyone here got a lock on this bridge? No? Probably for the best, okay? You should probably start to wish that you hadn't, and let me explain why. Apart from all of the pollution which hundreds of thousands of rotting metal keys produce at the bottom of the Seine, the extra weight that all of these locks actually add does make the bridge potentially unstable. And for that reason, folks, the government have been forced to take appropriate action. Now that appropriate action does come in the form of one man, locally known as the Anti-Cupid. Now he comes out at night with a rather large pair of bolt cutters and he literally trims back the locks on the fence. Now legend has it that every time one of these locks is cut, the spell of love between that particular couple is instantly broken, and finally destiny will tear them apart.
Does that explain the divorce rate in the United States?
It could do, you never know. So I'm going to give Paige and Brian here about 3 months to go. Okay. I bet you're they're not here, are they? Fantastic. Can any of you guess why it might have actually started on this particular bridge here in Paris?
Because it's metal and not stone.
No. Where's the Americans? It's all your fault. Out of you Americans, who's a fan of Sex and the City? I can see it in your eyes, even behind those dark glasses. Oh yeah? You're so Samantha. Did anyone see the last ever episode? Yes. Yeah? Do you know, he's like, yeah, dude. Well, do you know where it was filmed? The last ever scene of the last ever episode?
Well, let me guess. Love Lock Bridge?
It was right here on this bridge. Back then there was no locks on the bridge. However, it was here that last scene was filmed. And instantly, after that, people began to recognise this as the true bridge of love, because it was here that Mr. Big would admit finally his true love of Carrie. Okay.
Spoiler alert! Jesus,
You've not seen it, I'm really sorry. It's really not worth it. It's kind of on off with the first 6 series, and then finally at the end they get together. Okay, one more. You don't have to even see it.
That's a nice summary right there.
And on that note, folks, and what we're going to do is we're actually,